Alright, away we go.
We started off going up the section of Switzerland Trail north of Gold Hill Road. We knew that it was likely to be covered in deep snow due to some solid snowstorms earlier in the week, but we figured it was worth a try anyway. As this trip was the first time I'd taken our new Rubicon off-road, I was eager to try out some of its nifty features. Trail recording via GPS was one I was eager to try, as it's always good to keep fun trails on standby for future trips. The front off-road camera is a handy feature too, but less so for faster off-roading like this. In particular, I like being able to keep an eye on the pitch and roll of the Jeep. We weren't planning on doing anything too likely to cause rollover, but with my kids in the back, it's one of those peace of mind things. Also, I'll once again apologize for the camera placement. I had some 3M sticky mounts for the dash that I was sure would work, but the adhesive on them had less grip than my father-in-law's bald tires do on dirt.
It looks pretty deep right here. Don't follow me up. There's a decent chance I get stuck.
All of us get stuck, copy.
To the surprise of none of us, right after the driveway that comes off the trail, the snow got deep. Unfortunately, my Jeep's A-pillar pretty much perfectly blocked the valiant attempt at pushing through the snow that was made in our trail leader's HDJ81.
I think this is going to be a no-go for the vehicles on 31s. Nobody's been through here since it snowed, and I'm looking at a drift that's about 3 feet deep.
Go!
Yeah, better probably turn around then.
You guys probably have the most room to turn around right now, so I'll just sit here out of the way until you do. It is, it's deep.
No driveway here to back into, so I'll turn around and then you guys can back up into it.
This is exactly where I got stuck last time. I went wheeling around here too. Because I forget that there's this driveway, so it's graded up until there, and then it's not anymore.
What's that, Emmy?
I'm not going, Dad.
Because I need to get turned around. It's too deep for us to go through here, otherwise we'll get stuck.
With the snow definitely too deep for the rigs on 31s, and likely too much for us with bigger tires, we turned around.
And we might not get stuck, but those guys in the Jeep and in the truck might get stuck. According to my little Garmin InReach, we're supposed to be in the low 40s all day out here though, so I don't imagine we're gonna see any worsening of conditions.
Oh, if anything, the snow will get heavy and be easier to float on.
So that's also cold enough to keep the side-by-side drivers at bay. You want me to go back up front? I don't really care. It's just a trail.
Wait if you want.
So I thought you said you. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take up the rear.
Do you want to stop and try Tombstone so we can see if the Tacoma rear locker works?
Ooh, good choice. I actually would love to too.
Spoiler, he did not in fact test the locker.
When it gets so much sun, it should be at worst like what it's like we're driving right now.
I'm not even worried. This doesn't look bad at all.
Bay, 03 Baghdad.
The first optional obstacle we took came right after the start of the trail.
Do you want to go to that way from the left here and down it, or do you want to go right and around?
Let's go right so we can go up it. Guess it doesn't really matter. We'll be going up and down either way, but I want to go up.
It's all packed in nice.
This will be a fun trail with the wagon on bias plies.
But it's far from it. This is a really good test of how the rest of the trail is going to be.
I'm surprised there's not more people up here since it's President's Day.
If you have a government job, you typically don't get the day off.
I have the day off.
That's impressive.
I get a 4-day weekend every time we have a federal holiday.
It's government contract life.
Contractors are the ones that get screwed. I'm a real government employee.
I just meant when I was at Raytheon, we got all the same holidays off.
I considered Raytheon until they told me they were just going to keep me in Maryland, and I was like, nah, screw that.
Raytheon likes to pull that crap. That's what made me leave.
Crazy, because Raytheon have a huge facility here right outside of Buckley.
It depends on what kind of experience you've got as to where you can work. I didn't have the right experience to come out here.
This is the one I sent you that YouTube video of, so this is definitely, for the Tacoma, you'll want to put that in low range, and when I get to the top, I'll come down and stop for you if you want.
Definitely.
Please do, yeah.
Left. And I'm up. I'm going to come down the truth side.
Is this the truth and dare stuff?
A few of them. Alright, this is going to be alright. This is the hard side. Right that I came down is the easy side. You both should be able to go up that left side.
You know what? Let's go up the left side. I'm just going to floor it until I see God. No, I'm playing. I'm not going to do that.
Full send. For kicks and giggles, I'm going to put it in electric mode only. Go up that.
You just got a stunt on me, huh?
I paid 62 grand for this. I got to stunt somehow.
That's fair.
What we doing, Tail?
We're waiting for him to go up. We're going to give him some space and let him...
Why people are talking? Dad, why people are talking?
adventure.
Do I make a right while I'm up here?
I've got
Back down?
the forward-facing camera. Might as well.
Oh, yeah, I forget you have that. That's nice.
It's got all the bells and whistles. So.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so for an electrified Rubicon.
Yep. I barely had to touch the pedals coming up this.
You had so much torque.
410
That's how
and
the diesel is too. I really have to
I got 410 gears, 4-to-1 low range, and electric motor. So,
That's sick. I'll go get out of your way.
Did it stop snowing up here?
sure did.
Other than my own, the Japanese import diesel 80 series Land Cruiser was my favorite rig on the trip. Having owned a fair few Land Cruisers myself, they're hard to beat for looks and capability. And the rumble of that inline diesel is oh so nice. Quick detour and optional obstacle finished, we headed back down the trail.
One looking for a radio check on the Metro 600.
It was here that we realized we'd crossed into the domain of the area's GMRS repeater.
Radio check on channel 18.
Hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Can y'all hear me?
A quick stop to switch channels and our comms were cleared up again.
It's neat seeing the little bit of diesel soot. You guys having fun back there? Alex is being lame and using his tablet instead of enjoying the ride.
To Alex's credit, it turned out he was running 101 degree fever on the trip, so he's forgiven for not participating as much. There is certainly something pristine about following a classic Land Cruiser through the Colorado mountains. Once again, I found myself regretting my lack of good camera mounting. The part of the trail we were going through was my favorite, at least in terms of scenery. With beautiful snow-covered alpine mountains to either side and the sun shining bright in a clear blue sky, it was nothing short of picturesque.
picnic ground here. This old chimney is where the old railroad station used to be for the railroad tracks that used to run this stretch. It was here for a long time after as well, so it burned down.
The old picnic ground chimney parking lot represented a great spot for us to stop and snap a few pictures of our rigs. Photo break finished, we set off once more.
Where's that thing up there? With the antenna.
What's that?
Yeah.
The antenna for my radio. We must have briefly had service because I'm getting a bunch of notifications on my phone.
Yeah, you'll have on and off on this trail. There's a few of these high spots got good service.
I've got the Garmin, and worst comes to worst, so at least my wife can get a hold of me.
Goldfish wants to fall on me. I'm gonna hold on to goldfish.
Yeah?
Because goldfish wants to fall on me.
You're gonna hold it?
Yeah, so it doesn't fall down. We got not bumpy road. It will be this not hold on. It will stay loose.
It was a little hard to hear, but determining the safest place to put the carton of goldfish was of utmost importance to Alex, as it should be.
The carpet is allowed for water to get through.
Yeah, kind of.
But if it gets way too high, it will be not fine. And if the carpet will get too high,
And here we came to the true weakness of the mounting location I had chosen. The suction cup, after all the rattling and banging, a lot from opening and closing the door, finally gave up and fell off. So from this point, all the video would have to be taken manually. Here was another gorgeous portion of the trail. Alex, now the one on the cliffside of the road, was a little worried about falling off, but that wasn't something we were going to do on this trip.
You'll be fine, bud. Yep. Because we're not going to go that tippy. We're not driving fast. Yeah?
The push toward the more shaded side of the mountain promised snow, which is a huge part of the fun of winter wheeling.
You guys having fun back there?
Getting your right-hand drive and I see no one on that left side. It definitely confuses me for a hot minute every time.
To my delight, the mountains delivered on their promise. There's something about the noise tires make going through slush that tickles all the right parts of my brain.
track deal with the Chevy's called with the rear engines.
Corvair.
It almost looks like an old Corvair with how big the trunk is.
He's got all of them uncovered up here.
He does.
After passing a long crashed car, which looked to be an old Corvair, and a cozy looking cabin, we found ourselves passing through a neat little mountain valley with a little chunk of civilization. And I found myself a little more than envious of the people who get to call this area home.
He moved a bunch of them, but not sitting out there.
Dude, he's got he's got like a 60 and flash stuck up there too, remember?
There used to be a good chunk of them.
What out here?
Thinking really hardly at all.
You're not. You're floating like you're on dry pack.
The trees have
As we got into some of the deeper snow, we were in high spirits. Along with being a lot of fun, our rigs were all performing well, and our confidence was high. Perhaps a touch too high, even.
So I'll make a bush hole. You need 3 seeds and some more. I will play with you until you will.
The mix of slush, mud, dirt, and snow made for a really fun variety. It also made for some dirty rigs.
Little compacted spot right there. Or loose, rather.
Remember that high confidence I mentioned earlier?
Your wheels out.
Wow, a power cord, but falling down.
When in doubt, throttle out, man.
Here's where it became unjustified. The taco sounded cool doing it, though, and I think someone learned a lesson about listening to my advice.
The Tacoma with the 31. The only thing you're really risking is getting stuck by getting hung from like your skid plates or your pumpkin. So you're chasing me. Don't stop and you'll be fine.
He stopped.
I'm a goner.
He wasn't. All it took was a quick tug on the snatch strap from the LJ and he was out. No lasting harm done to the Tacoma. Yet. Around this bend was another optional obstacle, and being gluttons for punishment, of course we had to give it a go.
Oh, the Jeep is trying to go up there.
Yep.
did that guy move?
Slick, I'm gonna give it one more shot and other people can have some fun.
I think you're getting too much tire slip. You need some lockers almost.
I definitely need a locker.
Did someone say lockers?
So close.
Not happening without a locker. I'm gonna back down.
We're in a spot now where the front and rear both have to take a step up at the exact same time.
Maybe right here if I give it a good bump. Too far back and it's too slick for these KO2s.
It's all ice under your tires now too.
E3W should do a pretty good job though.
Had enough fun almost driving off the side of the trail.
So he moved.
Yeah.
So you could.
And here is where that yet became now. Unfortunately, even after sacrificing his turn signal housing, he didn't make it up. The obstacle was just too icy to get traction. However, even my Jeep, with both lockers engaged, couldn't do it, so no shame to the Taco.
Not happening.
Back up and go left where Bill went. Go up to the optional, the easy side of that. Alright.
I knew it was the Jeep because him was talking about how bad it was.
While I pulled up to make my own attempt, which I couldn't film and drive up at the same time, I stopped to watch the Tacoma try to get up this. The slush here was extremely slick.
Almost.
Despite the technical difficulties, it was a super fun trip and reaffirmed my choice in buying the 4xe. Hopefully, it won't be long before the next trip.